Hello, this is Bob Porto. I'm at our website, SaveARTermLimits, and I wanted to give you a quick tour and show you what you can do at the site. First off, SaveARTermLimits is here to educate the citizens about the scam and the scandals of our state legislators hiding, lengthening their term limits in an ethics amendment. First off, it's a changing of the Constitution, but they're going to have it on the ballot as issue number 3, and I'll show you that. Then they're lengthening their term limits, but they're only saying that they're establishing term limits, and the subtitle doesn't even mention term limits. Then we're going to look at who voted for this, and are they in a primary race? Maybe you want to support whoever is going to be for keeping term limits. We notice here on our page that we see that term limits was voted in by the people in 1992 with 60% of the voting people. And then they tried to change term limits in 2004 and it was defeated with 70% of the voters. So what they're trying to do now is they're wanting to hide lengthening their term limits up to 16 years on both houses. Currently, the House has a total of 6 years and the Senate 8 years. So at our website, we already talked about our app, and that's right here, and you can go to that. But we can also talk about reading the bill. So you can click on this down here on the bottom, or we can go up to the top and click read the bill. And this is going to take us to the Secretary of State's website. So everything's safe to go to where you want to. Now this is at section 3, but let's go, this is on page 16. This is the section, we're going to read this in a second, but let's go back up to the title, way back up here. There's 22 pages and they're saying that you need to read all this, but they know that it's so long. By the way, Representative Sable and Woods on the Senate side formed this, and this is HJR 1009. So the House Joint Resolution 1009, here's the title, talks a lot about it, but then right down here on the bottom, the last sentence, and establishing term limits for the member of the General Assembly. Isn't that interesting? Establishing. So if you're a low information voter, you would think that's a good thing. And then, if you look, you can kind of see, here's the subtitle, and then it gets into the amendment, line 1 of the amendment. So the subtitle is the quick read. Most citizens are going to read. It says the Arkansas elected officials ethics, transparency, and financial reform. Do you see anything about term limits? And if you did, on the last sentence, you'd see that it's establishing. But let's go back and see if we can get to the Secretary of State's website, and I want to show you where this is at. So I'm going to kind of click to the Secretary website, then I'm going to get to the elections. Bear with me for just a second. And then let's look at the information, the initiatives. Here we go. You have to kind of know where to run down to. Here's the website, Secretary of State, and if we run down here, this is HJR 1009. So they're even going to disguise changing the constitutional amendment by calling it issue number 3. And if we just click on that, it takes us right back to the bill, right where I was. And then this is what they're doing, changing the Constitution of establishing term limits. And it's not even mentioned in the subtitle. Okay, well, we've established that from our website. Go back to our home page, and we've read the bill. That's what their intent is. And now we can look at their vote. So who's doing this? On this page, we have it set up for the House and the Senate. So if you want to look at the House, it'll take you to the vote, and there's HJR 1009. And here's all the yeses, noes, not voting, and voting present. These are all the people who want to lengthen their term limits. They want to override the will of the people, and they want to vote for it. And you can go to the Senate also. If you want to look at the Senate, just click there, and you can see that the Senate comes up on who voted yes, no, non-voting, present, and excused, and then an explanation. You can read that if you like. So we can now see who voted yes. We've read the bill, and if you know who your legislator is, or if you don't, we put this link to this site so that you can click and find your legislator. This will do the whole United States, but we're interested in Arkansas. But bear with me, we're going to go back to our website and let's start putting this to work. We've got a primary coming up. The primary is May the 20th. So on these primary elections, if we want to verify that, here's the date of the elections at the Secretary of State. We see May 20th on 2014 is the primary. Is there somebody that's running in a primary that voted to lengthen their term limits? And if you would like, we'll grab one. So let's go to their vote. Just going to pick one. Let's grab the House. And here's the yeses. And let's just go down to Ferguson. That's a yes vote. Who's this? Here's Representative Deborah Ferguson. It's a Democrat out of West Memphis. Let's take this information on her. She's District 51. And let's take a couple ways we can use our website. So if we want to find our legislators and learn more about this person, we go back to find your legislator, click here. We'll enter in her information and then click yes. You could enter in your district, your address, and you'd find your representatives. There she is, District 51, Democrat, House. Remember, she voted to lengthen term limits. Let's learn more about her. There's her district. Let's see here, in her available terms, this is her first session, her first term. She raised, about less than $25,000 to get elected. And that's her. There's her contact information if you want to reach out to it. So we know that that's who she is. If we go back to our website, we can look at a primary race and see if she's primaried. And if we want to go back to searching for this, go back to the Secretary of State. This is candidate information. I'm going to view, we could look her up right here. This information, just fill it in. But let's sort by position. I'm just going to do it this way for the Secretary of State. We try to make this information available and easy to get to, because if you're trying to hunt it on your own, I know we're all busy. And so we try to put it right here on our website so that you can help educate your friends. We're going to go back down to the State Representative District 51. Here's 51. There she is. And in District 51, it says she's a Democrat. And then here's Roger Paxton. He's running as a Libertarian. So if she voted for it, and if you're in this district, now this could be for any other district if they're being primaried. You can just look up here and see 46, District 46 is being primaried. You've got 2 Republicans running in 46. Looks like 45 is not contested, 44, here's 43 being contested, 2 Republicans. You can work it backwards. Now this looks like an open seat because they don't have a representative name in there. So this is how term limits is working. They possibly were termed out or chose not to run again. And you can see if they were running, they would have representative at their name. Can we find one that has a representative name to it that is being challenged? Here's one. So here's 38. That's a Democrat being challenged by a Republican. So you could look this person up and see if they voted, just work it backwards. If it's your district, you just got to know your district and you got to know who's running, and then you can work backwards and find out how they voted. And so you can look at your primary races. You read the bill. You looked at their vote. You can find your legislators. Here you can also find out where to vote and information about registering to vote. And all of this is from the Secretary of State's website. So information on where to vote, just click this. It will take you straight to the Secretary of State's website. That's the information that you're going to need to find to get registered or know where to vote. And then you can obviously contact us if you'd like. You can join our email list. Just simply put in your name and email address right here. You can ask us to come speak and tell us the dates by filling in this information in this section, or you can hit contact and obviously be able to reach us out right there. We have a Twitter page, and we have a Facebook page, and then there's our phone number. Wanted to give you a real quick tour about our website and see that it's useful. And if you could help share this information, we'd greatly appreciate it. Hope you find this information interesting and useful. Thank you.